Good morning, buenos dias, wasabal khayr, and pardon my roosters, my neighbor's roosters, really. Welcome back for another lesson from English al Español al Arabi, where we take words and phrases and translate them from English to Spanish and then to Arabic. However, today, June 15th, 2020, of the Common Era, I will be speaking mostly English as I plan to make a Spanish language version of this same video. Lord willing, ojalá, inshallah. So today I want to talk about the Sura of Joseph, and I'm working in this Surah in the Quran. As a non-Muslim Western person studying the Arabic language, I feel that it's very important to be familiar with the Quranic text and the Hadith, not only because this is the source of the Arabic language and the Arabic grammar, but also because people in everyday conversation frequently make references to the Quran and the Hadith also. So I approach this text as respectfully as I can. However, I come from a Protestant background where we are instructed by the New Testament to scrutinize our own sacred texts, and we apply the same methodology to all other texts, both sacred and non-sacred, all ancient texts. It's just a way of objectively analyzing the grammar of the text, and that's all. With that in mind, I'm working in Surah number 12, and that's what kind of set me off thinking about Surah number 12, verse 2. Well, that's a Western imposition. I'm putting my numbering system on top of their text, so that's not really cool. So we have to learn the names of the surahs. Each surah has a proper name, each chapter of the Quran. And these names of these surahs are in what we call idafa, or idafatun. Idafatun, al-idafatu in Arabic. And this word means addition, but I'm only going to talk about the simplest form possible of the idafa, and that's a two-word idafa, where the second word becomes possessor of the first word. The same way that we say John's book, and that apostrophe S that sounds like a Z in my American English, John's book. John's book in English. Now we use the preposition de for the possessive in Spanish to show the genitive construction, the possessive, the apostrophe S, the book of John. And in Spanish, that's how we say it. El libro de Juan, the book of John. Juan is Spanish for John, although my name in Spanish is El libro de John. John, everybody calls me John, even my wife. So, El libro de John. And in Arabic, it's even easier, really, because we just say book John. Kitab John, Kitab John. And that's the idafa, and that means John's book. No, it really means the book of John, if you want to literally translate it. And the reason for that is something that I'll repeat here, is that all proper names, like John, are considered to be grammatically definite in the Arabic language. All proper names are considered to be grammatically definite in the Arabic language. Now, the most widely used idafa in the Arabic language has to be Kitabullahi, the book of Allah, which of course refers to the Quran. Kitabullahi. And here we have the classic two-term idafa construction, possessive construction, making Allah, the second term, the owner of the first term, kitab. And we understand that by looking at the two ending vowels of these two nouns. So what we have here is kitabu. We know that this is an idafa because if it were not, it would be kitabun. It would be dammatain. There would be two dammas here. So we know that this is the first term of idafa, and we see that this is the last term because it's marked with a single kasra. Because Allah, like John, is a proper name, and therefore it is grammatically definite in the Arabic language. All proper names are grammatically definite in the Arabic language. This is important when we talk about syntax and how the words around these definite and indefinite terms work. Anyway, so what we have here is a very classic idafa construction. And here's another one, which is the first book, or the first chapter, the first surah of the Quran, and that's colloquially pronounced Surah al-Fatiha, right? But in good, proper, modern standard Arabic, or good, proper Fusha, we would say Suratul Fatiha, Suratul Fatiha, Suratul Fatiha. And if we were to pronounce this last vowel, notice that it's marked with a kasra. This is about the only situation where we actually pronounce this kasra. And here, if we were to pronounce it, it would become Suratul Fatihati. But nobody would ever say that. Now we get to the one that I'm working on, which is Surah Yusufa. And I was wondering, why is it Yusufa and not Yusufi? And then I found out, as I studied, that foreign names in the Quran, and indeed outside of the Quran in modern standard Arabic, cannot be marked with a kasra, just for a crazy grammatical rule. So this Hebrew name, as many of the Hebrew prophets in the Quran, can only be marked with Dhamma in its nominative case, Yusufu, and in any other case, both the accusative and the genitive, it is marked with a single fetha, because it is definite, just like any other name. All proper names are definite in the Arabic language. So, Sura Yusufa. Now, when we talk about Joseph, Yusuf, in the nominative case, it's Yusufu. And of course, in Islam, we are obligated to say, upon him the peace after his name, because Joseph is considered to be a prophet in Islam. So we say, Yusufu alayhi assalam, the peace, upon him the peace. Now, if we say the prophet Joseph, we say an-Nabi, the prophet, and Nabi Yusufu. And if we say all the short vowels, it would be an-Nabi'u Yusufu. And Nabi Yusufu alayhi salam. And that would be the prophet Joseph, upon him the peace. Well, thank you very much. I hope the main takeaway from here is that all proper names are considered to be grammatically definite in the Arabic language. And foreign names, like John, that are introduced into the Arabic language, are generally not marked with the kesra, even if they are in the genitive case. Thank you very much for viewing. God bless you. The Spanish speakers, please stay tuned for the Spanish version. Allah yasamakum.